Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Keto and the Chaos. My name is Tammy, and on this channel, I like to share all my tips and tricks on how I lost 205 pounds without surgery and how you can be successful on your own weight loss journey. So, if that's what you're looking for, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for more videos like this one to inspire you to get started. First things first, right? Oh, yes. I must have some liquid courage. Oh, man, look at my eyes. Sorry about that, guys. I am really tired today. You're lucky I have any makeup on at all. Come on in. I see you coming in. I'm sorry I'm late. It's been a morning. Come on in and say hello so that I can see who is here. Sunshine, Cleveland. Hi, Sunshine. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. And just so everyone's, I know you're going to ask me, key lime pie bang is the best one they make. I really like birthday cake, but key lime pie is really, really good. Dave was able to find these at Walmart. So if you're looking for these, Walmart's been carrying them in little 4-pack boxes. So go look for them because this is awesome. And no, it's not affiliate. I wish. Bang, you want to make me an affiliate? Yes, please. All right. I'm going to try not to guzzle my drink in front of you, but I'm so tired. I got this cute, super cute little sound machine from Christina Salmon. I don't know, she might come in later today. I don't see her yet. And I actually slept so much worse. She told me it takes a little while to get used to it, and you know, I don't know. We'll see. Dave didn't even sleep well. He was kind of like, do you have to use that thing? So yeah. Anyway, we're going to be okay. I think it takes time to get used to it, so I might just have to be patient. Hopefully I will be patient. All right, so I'm going to see who's here and say hello, and then I'm going to be going into our subject. So our subject today is going to be how to lose weight fast. If you're new to my channel, you may not realize I lost my first 100 pounds in 8 months. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to weight loss and how to do it quickly. And I'm going to get into that in just a minute. So yeah, if you are here, say hello. Let's see who's here. All right, we have, Jelly, Fat to Keto is here. Welcome. Guys, go check out her journey. She has also lost 205 pounds as of yesterday, and I think she's really close to 206. We're like neck and neck. I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh right now. We will wait till Saturday. Anyway, Fat to Keto, FAT2 Keto, and her channel is fun. Hey, Tammy McDonald, my twin, is here. People have commented on how we are twins, and we really are in so many ways. It's just like weird. Morning, Tammy. And Tara Allen is here, one of my awesome coaching clients who has been so awesomely successful and is such an awesome person. I love her. Hey, Epiphany London, Sue is here. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Good to see you. Oh, Jelly, the bangs have like 300 milligrams of caffeine. So you'd probably have to give up like some of your coffees to do it. I don't know if I have ADD or ADHD. I'm starting to wonder because when I drink caffeine, it like calms me down. Because people were like saying that maybe my sleep issues were caffeine related, but I've noticed that they calm me down. I don't know. Like my daughter has the same thing. She told me, but I don't know. She doesn't have ADD either. She's very calm. Maybe we just really like our caffeine. I don't know, but these ones are good. Key lime pie. So good. Who did I miss? I missed someone. Oh, Married to Keto. Hello. It's good to see you. And Carnivore Yogi. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. I'm glad to have you. She has an awesome channel, so you guys should check her out. Both of us are on different journeys and yet similar journeys. We're both dealing with similar issues and we're approaching them from a little bit different perspectives. So it's kind of fun to watch Sarah and me and see what we're doing in order to figure this whole thing out, what you do when you get smaller. And Jelly too. She's still on her journey. Like she's not really pushing the weight loss right now, but I mean, she's pushing the weight loss. She's not doing maintenance right now. But yeah, all three of us are kind of in similar situations right now. Hey, Paulina Isabella, welcome. Yeah, everyone thought Tammy McDonald's was my sister. That's so funny. We both have glasses and we're both Tammy. She has cuter hair than me though, because I didn't get mine cut this year. So she has better hair than me. We're also 1 year apart, and our birthdays are like 3 days apart. So she turns 47 on the 27th, I think she said, and I turn 46 on the 30th. Isn't that crazy? We're like doppelgangers. It's kind of fun. Julie Ironman, welcome. Ashley Dyson. She says, have I tried the radical skedaddle? Yes, I have, and I love it. It's kind of cherry flavor to me. It reminds me of Skittles. It's a little too fruit. This one is more like, it's literally like, it does taste like key lime pie because it's lime, but it's also sweet, which is also kind of why I like the birthday cake. It's a similar kind of combination. The radical skedaddle has too much sweet and not enough sour. I feel like it needs just a hint more of sour, but I love it. I drink it all the time too. Yep. Jelly's like, no, I can't stop drinking my coffee. Exactly. I don't drink coffee at all, so that's why. Katie Castle, welcome. She says this is her first time here. I'm so glad you're here. We're secret sisters. Cute. And ADH Snuggles, Angela, hey girl. I'm so glad you are here. All right. Okay, so we have quite a few who are wanting to know about the keys to fat loss. I know that some of you, we know who you are, already know how to lose weight because, you have done it already. So I'm glad you guys are here in support of me. I hope that you will, you can offer some expertise if you'd like, if you want to share about this subject, because you also know. Okay, so when we're talking about weight loss, I think probably the ultimate thing that everybody always wants to know is how to get it done quickly, right? How to do it fast. Nobody wants to spend a long time losing weight. Everybody wants like a pill or a quick fix or something that's going to fix it. And for a lot of people, keto is the magic pill that they say will help you lose weight super fast. For me, that was true, but there are reasons behind that need to be discussed, because when I went into doing it, I didn't realize why it was working. And I think that is one thing that is a huge disappointment when it comes to weight loss with coaches or even groups like mine. We don't give you all the information, or they don't give you all the information of why it works. They just basically say, well, do this and it will work and you'll be happy. Well, that worked for me, and I was happy and I was glad that it worked, but now I'm starting to learn why it worked, and I feel like it's important to talk about that. Speaking of why, the number one most important thing to think about when you are going into any kind of a weight loss is why. Why do you want it? So there's lots of reasons why you would want to lose weight, okay? The number one most obvious one is that it's interfering with your health, right? So for me, I was almost 400 pounds, 374 pounds. I could barely walk. I was in misery. My emotional health was tanking. I was on the verge of being suicidal. I wasn't quite there, probably because I have 9 kids and I just really don't want to leave them motherless. That's probably the only reason I wasn't suicidal at the time. Physically, I was very sick all the time. My digestive system was all kinds of messed up. I had diarrhea constantly. Didn't seem to matter what I ate. And I couldn't, like, it was so bad I couldn't leave the house without worrying I was going to go, like, in my pants. That's where I was at. It was really, really scary. Clothes did not fit me. I was no longer able to find any clothes that would fit me at Walmart. I was wearing a giant black muumuu dress. If you guys have seen my slideshow where I show how I lost the 200 pounds, you'll see me in that black dress. That's literally what I wore almost every single day of the week, because it was practically the only thing that fit me. I had like 2 pairs of like sweatpants, yoga pants that I could stretch out around me, and I had no jeans that would fit. I had 2 big like long sleeve baggy shirts that I would use to try and cover the bulk, and then I just had my dress. And I wore my dress most days because it was the most comfortable thing I had. So physically and emotionally, I was in danger, right? So if you are in danger, if you are obese to the point where you feel like you are in danger, that would be a very good reason to lose weight quickly, right? I mean, obviously, that makes sense. So another reason that you would want to lose weight quickly is maybe somebody surprised you with some event. So maybe let's say if it was me, what if my kid came to me? Oh, wait, they did. My kids came to me on like April 2nd or something like that and said they were getting married on April 17th in my front yard. That wouldn't be something that I would jump on the weight loss bandwagon for. But for example, if someone surprised you with an event that you would like to look better for, that's coming up quickly, that you were not expecting, that would be a reason that you would want to maybe lose weight quickly, right? Cutting for a competition. For example, if you've gotten down to a really low weight, you're in maintenance, and you have a physique competition coming up or a model photo shoot, that doesn't apply to most of us, okay? But if you did, you would want to cut fat fast from your body, right? The last one is the one that most people is the reasoning behind it, and it's not necessarily the best reason, but it is, I'm impatient. I just want to look nicer. I just want to be healthier. I just want to look better, right? I got out of control. I ate all the things and I gained 20 pounds and I'm miserable. And now I just really want to be back to where I was. Or I just can't wait. I don't know. Like, I'm done. I'm ready. I want to do this. I want to see myself on the other side. Grass is always greener. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about that one, since I think that one applies to the most people that are watching this video. If that is you, raise your hand. That's always us, right? Even if you have the other reasons, that one always applies. Impatience is generally the reason we want to lose weight fast. The problem with that is that let's just not go into the problems yet. Let's just talk about how, why that is the reason that we're doing this. So, a lot of us don't remember that it took us a really long time to gain the weight that we gained. We didn't gain it overnight. And if we did, it wasn't fat, right? We all know that if you gain weight overnight, like I'm the queen of water weight gains. I gained 9 pounds in the first 4 to 5 weeks of my reverse diet. I could have run screaming from that number and said, nope, cutting, going back to cutting, but I didn't. And obviously, if you watched last week's video, you see that paid off eventually. Eventually, I got back to where I was because it wasn't really fat. When you gain body fat, it takes time. It doesn't happen right away. It's from eating a surplus of calories, more than you are burning, and it takes time for that to come on. But we get to the point where we're super uncomfortable, and then we go, oh, I don't really want that anymore. I've got to get rid of it. And for some reason, we think that we can get rid of it by eating nicely or for a week. If only it was that easy. That's what we would all do. We would eat all the cookies and donuts that we want for most of the year, and then we'd just go on a fat loss diet for a week and boom, right? Right. So obviously that's not the best reason to lose weight fast, even though it's the most common reason. Obviously, if you're cutting for an event or a competition, that's a different story. You might really want to do that for those things, but that doesn't really apply to most people that are watching this video. Obesity might apply, and really, obesity is the only one that I will say I highly recommend losing weight fast from. It's also, if you are obese, the safest time to lose weight fast. Does that make sense? So when you have a lot of body fat on your body, you're going to have a lot more food for your body, regardless of how much food you actually consume. So if you go into a really steep calorie deficit as a super obese person like me, you probably won't suffer the consequences of metabolic damage or things like that as likely, and you probably will have an easier time of it because you have lots of extra food upon you that your body is feasting upon, right? It unlocks the doors of its magic storage room, right? And it makes it so you could just eat that up and you're gorging yourself. So your body doesn't really realize it's in such a deficit. So it's a lot easier to do if you're overweight, if you're extremely overweight, obese. If you're in a situation like with me and you're 20 pounds away or something from your goal and you just want to cut that really quickly, that's the area where it gets tricky. Can you do it? Yes. Is it advisable? Unless you have a time constraint. No, it isn't. And here are the reasons why it is not advisable. Before I tell you how to do it, I have to give you caution because Now I know what I know, and I realize why it worked for me so well, and I realize there are some dangers to losing weight too quickly. So the number one reason is because weight that's lost really quickly is much more likely to reappear. When you've lost weight really quickly, so say for example, last summer I lost what? 24 pounds in 13 weeks. That's pretty fast for someone my size. And it was really hard to achieve. But if I had just jumped right back on, which is why I'm doing the reverse diet, right? If I had jumped right back on to what I thought was maintenance calories, very likely I would have put weight on very quickly. And the reason for that is because your metabolism. So when you're going into a calorie deficit, your metabolism will kind of shrink down to try and catch up with you. Now, reminder, all this stuff is stuff that I have learned from other people that like know their stuff. Like BioLane, Dr. Finney, like there's lots of people that I've learned all of this information from. I mean, I could go on and on listing. I'm just a mom. I have no doctor degree. I'm not a nurse. I'm nothing. I am literally just a person who lost weight. So take my advice with a grain of salt. But basically, your metabolism will slow down in order to make your body run on fewer calories. It's designed to do that. That prevents us from dying if we are without food for a very long time, right? It's a biologic process. You can't get away from it. It will happen. So the longer that you're in an extreme deficit, the more likely your metabolism will come down. And that makes it harder to lose weight, and it makes it harder for lots of things. So that's another reason to maybe not do it so extreme right away. Let's see, where's my list? Oh, yes, it is hard to do. So losing weight fast when you are closer to your goal is much harder to do because you have to really get into a lower calorie level, and it's not fun. And when you don't have a lot of body fat on you, your body gets real ornery. You will get tired. You will be hungry. Even on keto, I know it's shocking and sad, but it's really true. Your energy will go down. Your energy expenditure will go down. Your body will tend to shut itself down, and you will do less things like fidgeting and blinking and moving around, and you'll be more likely to be sedentary because it's another way of your body preserving itself is by slowing down your actual movement. So it's just hard. It's hard to do it fast. So that's part of the reason. And it's really just not as healthy to do at that point. Now, like I said, if you are super obese, it is the healthiest thing you could possibly do, right? Because that weight is killing you. But when you're to the point where you're like under 200 pounds and you just have like a short while to get to your goal, maybe you could be patient and do it a little bit more slowly. So now that I have given you fair warning, I'm going to tell you how you lose weight fast. Okay. So the way I lost fast was keto. It wasn't the only reason. And I think I just thought keto was the magic pill because it worked. But the reason that keto worked and the way I did it worked was because I was in a calorie deficit. So number one, you have to get in a calorie deficit of some kind. How do you do that? Do you actually know how much calories you're currently eating? If not, you need to find that out. Are you actually maintaining your weight right now, or are you putting weight on? So you need to find out your calorie level, and then you need to compare it to what your weight has been doing in order to figure out where you currently are. If you are maintaining your weight and have for a long time, or you have eked up 20 pounds over the course of a couple of years and you want to lose those pounds and it's just been slow, probably you're pretty close to a maintenance calorie level. And all you'll need to do is decrease it by 20 or 30%. And that's the safe way to do it. The way I did it was extremely low calorie. So my entire weight loss journey, I think when I started, was 1288 calories. For me, as a 374-pound woman, that was a humongous deficit. I've never actually figured out the percentage, but it's insane. It's insane. And that is why it worked so quickly. It was the calorie deficit, not keto. But here's the thing. When you're in ketosis, especially if you haven't been and you have been eating all of the carbs, you will have some benefits of keto that make it easier to achieve a calorie deficit. So if you don't want to do keto, you do not have to. You can achieve a calorie deficit other ways. You definitely can. But keto makes it so easy because you don't want to eat anything at all. And that's also one of the reasons it makes it hard, because you have to actually force yourself to eat. But at the very beginning, when you first get into ketosis, your appetite is so suppressed. That's what makes it so easy, because it gives you the control. If you don't feel like eating because you're not hungry, you can choose when you eat and how much, right? Like, it's miracle. It was a miracle. So it may not be the magic pill, and maybe it is for you. I know Jelly, all she needs is ketosis. It's not calories. She is able to lose weight. I am not. She is able to lose weight eating whatever calories she wants. And she just has to be in deep ketosis. Me, apparently, I don't even need to be in ketosis. It's just calorie deficit for sure for me, because right now I'm not in ketosis and my weight's still going down. So I don't know. I don't know like exactly if that's going to apply to every single person across the board. But I will say keto is a magic pill in that it gives you the ability to get into a nice deficit, okay? So getting into ketosis is highly recommended. I have talked ad nauseum about how to do it. Last week, we talked about how to get into ketosis fast and why you would want to or not want to. So if you missed that video, you should go back and check that out. I have videos on the basics of getting into keto and like how to track and how to do your electrolytes. It's in my playlist. There's like a beginner's playlist. So if you're really looking into getting into keto, this is the channel, because there's lots of videos about that. But I'm not going to talk about that in particular right now, because that isn't the only way, okay? That isn't the only key. Yeah, that's not the only key to losing weight super fast. So the very first key is to focus on your macro makeup. Not only do you want to have under 20 net carbs for ketosis, which is very important, but you're also going to want to raise your protein, which is what most keto people will disagree with me on. But I have been looking at lots of other people who lose weight really quickly who are not in ketosis. And the way they do it is with protein. And here is the reason why. Number one, protein has a higher thermic effect of food. And what that means is that when you eat it, it takes more calories to digest it than it does fats or carbs. Did you hear what I just said? You burn more calories by eating protein. Literally by eating. Dude, plus protein has fewer calories per gram. Right? Only 4 calories per gram compared to 9 in fat. So yeah, that makes sense. If you're raising up your protein game, you're filling up your stomach, number one, so you can't eat as much. You're filling it up with food that has fewer calories, and you're burning more calories while you eat it. Oh, it's genius. Now, if ketosis is your issue, it might cause you problems, because it does tend to give you a lower keto number. So people say that it increases the glucose in your body. So some people will have a higher glucose. If you're diabetic, or you're just really need to be in a deep state of ketosis to achieve any weight loss, this may not work for you. But you just have to remember that for most people, and that means like even if you weighed 374 pounds and you thought that you got there because your metabolism sucked and you're insulin resistant and all of those things, unless you've actually been tested and you know that for sure from a doctor, it's probably not true. I used to tell myself all of those things, and none of them were actual fact. None. Not even the metabolism thing. Maybe my genetics make me more predisposed to overeat because of my emotional issues, but they do not physically have anything to do with me gaining weight. Only my overeating did. And it took a really huge journey to get to that place. So I don't expect all of you to be at that place, because that's a place that is hard to get to like completely take the fall mentally and emotionally for where you got to where you were. And it's not easy. But now that I am out of that place, I can look at it from a different perspective, right? When I was in that place, there was no way. No. If you had told me that it was calories in, calories out when I weighed 374 pounds, I would have laughed so hard. And I would have told you the million times that I tried to eat 1,200 calories and never lost any weight. That never really actually happened. I thought it did, but it didn't. It was never long enough, and I was never patient enough for it to work. Plus, I was starving. Okay, so protein. How much protein? I have gone, there's a lot of videos on my channel about protein, and my recommendations are always based on what I know from people that I have studied or whatever. Dr. Finney recommends a lower level of protein, probably because of the ketosis thing, than say BioLane, who is a actual scientist who has studied protein and the way the bodies put fat on and use protein in the body. He's a genius. Now, he gets really frustrated with people who do keto. He says you can do it if you want, but he has reasons why you shouldn't. So be careful if you're going to go to BioLane. You might not like what he has to say if you're a keto proponent, but he has a lot of very good information. And he is a scientist. So I'm always willing to listen to people who actually have gone to school for this stuff, because I have not. Anyway, he recommends, BioLane recommends 1 gram per pound of body mass, like entire weight. So for example, if I weigh 175, I would want to try and eat 175 protein. Now, if I was 374 pounds, could I eat 1 gram per, no. 374 grams of protein a day? No, that's literally, I don't even think that's physically possible. So obviously, that isn't going to apply to everyone across the board. So what I like to say, I used to say per lean body mass, and I help people figure out what their lean body mass was. And now I'm like, no, I don't really like that either. It's not enough. Most people don't have that much lean body mass, and the idea is to build it up. We need more protein to build it up, especially in ketosis. And this is one thing that I did not know that I wish I would have known, but when you are in a ketotic state, you are more likely to burn your muscles. It is harder to build, and it is harder to keep them, especially if you are losing weight fast. So keeping your protein level up does protect your lean mass, but it won't entirely protect it if you're doing ketosis. You will lose some lean mass. So you need to eat that higher level protein. If you're eating a lower level of protein, like 60, and losing weight fast, you're losing your lean mass. And guess what, guys? Muscle burns more calories. Every time you lose a pound of lean mass, you lose your calories that your body is burning, and it makes it harder to lose weight. So I know it's hard to believe, but protein is key. That's why a lot of people on carnivore do really well, because they tend to eat more protein than most people on keto. And I think that they keep themselves in a really deep state of ketosis, and the protein keeps their lean mass up, and their lean mass burns more calories. Now, I'm not and never will be carnivore, because I really like all the extra stuff. And you don't have to be carnivore in order to have your protein that high. So I now recommend 1 gram per pound of ideal body mass. So if your ideal body weight, what your goal weight is, so if your goal weight is 130 pounds, I don't know why it would be unless you're short. I cannot even fathom that. Maybe I would be fine at 130 pounds. But anyway, if your goal is 130 pounds, you would eat 130 grams of protein. So my goal is 163, so that's what I try and hit. I do not always get it. I am kind of stuck in the 150s. I can't quite seem to get over the 150s without raising my calories up more than I want. So it's tricky. It's not easy. There are keys to achieving that. Adding protein powders to things, drinking protein shakes, using egg whites instead of yolks, chicken and lean meats instead of ribeye steaks. So there are ways that you need to look for lean protein sources so that you don't raise your fats up too high, because that's the last one I'm going to talk about is your fats. Your fats is where it determines what your calorie deficit is. Once you set your carbs down to below 20 net or 20 total if you really want to, you protein level, you figured out what you want to hit. So somewhere between, never below 100, please, people, never below 100 to 200, whatever your goal weight or whatever is. If you're a guy, it might want to even do it higher than that. You figured those two things out. Then you figure out how many calories you're going to get from those two things. And then you decide with fats where your deficit's going to be. If you already know what your maintenance calories are, so for example, you're eating 2,600 calories a day and you're not losing or gaining weight, then you know you could probably go down to like 2,200 calories and you probably lose weight. You don't have to go all the way down to the bargain basement to lose weight. Now, if you want to lose weight fast, obviously, bargain basement is where you're going to want to go. If you are obese, bargain basement won't be as hard and won't be as dangerous as if you are only 20 pounds up from your goal weight. Now, if you're 20 pounds up from your goal weight and you don't mind spending 2 years, then you can just slowly lower, a little bit lower your calories and go on your merry way. So you go a couple of weeks, you don't lose any weight, and so then you lower them another 50 or 100. It's literally the opposite of the reverse diet. So you guys have been watching, if you're not new to my channel, you've been watching me do a reverse diet. And basically, based on my weight, I decide whether or not I'm going to raise my calories more or stay the same. Stay the same. Yeah, I'm not going to go backward because it's a reverse, right? You don't ever go backward. So I'm going up. I'm getting my calories up. That's the idea. You would do the same thing if you're not impatient. If you want to do it the best way and healthiest way possible, where you're more likely to succeed, you will lower your calories, eke them down a little bit at a time. Oh, how I wish I had this knowledge at the beginning. Now, would I have done it? Probably not. I was impatient. But I'm highly recommending that you do that. I'm highly recommending that you do it slowly and let it take its time. There's many benefits to that. Number one, less risk of metabolic damage. And number two, you're not likely to regain it. And the reason why is because as you track and you spend a lot of time tracking, you are going to get more comfortable eating healthier. It's just going to be what you do because it took time. Whereas if you're just going on an 8-week cut and you're just cutting 20 pounds and then going back to what you were doing, you maybe didn't learn as much, or, maybe your lifestyle didn't really change and you're just going to put it right back on. And then you're going to be doing this thing. Don't do that thing. Please don't do that. That's the worst. Your poor metabolism. It's no wonder people's metabolisms are broken after years and years of yo-yo dieting or years and years of having an extreme deficit and never giving your body a break. So another thing is diet breaks. As you're doing that calories thing and you get to the place where your calories are low and you're losing weight, every 4 weeks or so, you should have a higher calorie day to let your metabolism know you're not starving. You're not in the middle of nowhere with no food, right? And that will keep your metabolism from dieting down as quickly. Yes, it will take a lot more time. But in the long run, you're going to be better off. You're less likely to regain the body fat. You're more likely to be thin longer. Can we always be perfectly cut at our goal weight all the time? No. So that's the thing. If you're being very healthy and you're spending a lot of time in a good calorie number and you've put on a few pounds and you just really want to cut them off, it's the summer, or you want to look good in the bikini or whatever, and it's been a really long time since you've had a calorie deficit, you could safely go 8 weeks on this super low calorie, cut that, and maybe go back right away to your maintenance. And that's what people do a lot. The thing is, you can't do it a lot. The ideal is to go 2 years of eating normally and basically eking your weight up a little bit at a time until you get uncomfortable, then doing a quick cut, getting it all off, and then doing that again for another 2 years. We're not talking about going 6 weeks, you gained 20 pounds back and you freak out and you're like, I gotta go back to cutting. I need a big cutting. You're always cutting then. You have to give your body time to readjust. And that's why the cut that I did worked so well, is because I had spent 9 months eating 2,000 plus calories. I was frustrated because I gained 20 pounds, but that's just normal. Now, I would like to do that in a 2-year span instead of a 1-year span. So that's why I'm doing the reverse diet, to try and figure out more what my maintenance level really is and see if I can push it up a little higher, because I'd like to eat more calories, because who doesn't like to eat more calories, right? Okay, so that is your thing. Bargain basement calories. I have over on my Facebook page, that's literally what we give people. And I feel kind of bad giving them bargain basement calories, but it is the easiest and fastest way to do it. And that's what people did for me with the keto board when I joined. Like, my calorie level was 1288, I think, was what I would hit if I hit my macros. And in our groups, we tell people don't focus on the calories, because if you did, then your mental head games would come into play, and you'd be like, oh, under 1,300 calories, I'm literally going to die. Well, you won't die, especially if you are obese. You will lose weight really fast. And that's what happened to me. I lost 100 pounds in 8 months. I lost 138 the first year, right? And then I got into Wonderland. So that was what, 175 pounds lost, I think, to get to Wonderland by 18 months of doing that. But after that, once I got under 200 pounds, my body was done with that 1,300 calorie deficit. It was like all of a sudden my body went, no, you have lost way too much body fat. We are not comfortable anymore. And it basically told me to stop. And so that's where I started the whole taking time off and then cutting and taking time off. I didn't even know about that. I hadn't watched BioLane. I hadn't watched any of these other channels where they did that. But I just had this gut instinct that I needed to take a few months off and then cut. And I probably didn't take off as many months as I could have at the very beginning, but taking at least as long as you were cutting and then doubling it is the best way to do it. So like Colin DeWay says, as long as you did the cut, it needs to be double that. So for example, if you did the cut for 12 weeks, then you would need at least 24 weeks of eating maintenance calories. So that's after the reverse diet. So if you do a reverse diet where you eke them up and you don't go right to maintenance, then you have to wait until you get to maintenance before you start counting that number. I know that sounds like horrible for those of us who have dieted since we were like 10. That wasn't me, thankfully. I did not do that. So my metabolism did not get damaged. I was so convinced that it was impossible for me to lose weight, I didn't even try. How sad. I could have probably tried and maybe had a better and healthier life when my kids were younger. But, live and learn. We live and learn. So, is everybody clear on what is the fastest way to lose weight? Getting into ketosis is super helpful. So, under 20 net carbs. Eating the sufficient protein to protect your lean mass and maybe even help you gain some is the second one. Also burn more calories while you eat it. So protein, getting 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. And then third, using your fats to determine your calorie number. Fast would be obviously bargain basement. So I like I'm 5'7". I weighed at the beginning of my last cut, I weighed 196. I had gotten up 20 pounds and I went to 1,300 calories. So that was how I did it. You can determine your own calorie number. Now, if you don't know what you're eating right now, then you should do that first. If you're coming into this brand new, you should get a chronometer out on your phone. That's CRONOMETER. Some people pronounce it chronometer. It's probably chronometer. I don't know. But get it out on your phone and literally just track as you eat normally and see how many calories am I eating right now. And if you aren't gaining weight, you can determine if you want to just cut 20% and see how it happens, and then cut 30% if that doesn't work, or 40, instead of having to go so far down. And you can eke your calories down. And then when your metabolism catches up and you stop losing weight, you can lower the calories again and you have somewhere to go. When you go to the bargain basement can't be for very long. So if you're going to go straight into a bargain basement cut, do not go longer than 12 weeks. You probably won't even make it to 12 weeks because it's hard. 8 weeks is probably better. Okay? And don't do that very often. So you can't be 2 months on, 2 months off, 2 months on, 2 months off. Don't do that. You need to give yourself at least double the time. So if you're going to do an 8-week cut, you need to be on maintenance calories again for a 16-week period. So even if you are losing weight fast, you're still safely, not chronically dieting. You don't want to get into the orthorexia trap, which is the main thing that I'm concerned about now that I've lost so much weight. Orthorexia basically is when you've been obese, you've had a weight loss journey, you get addicted to losing weight, and you cannot stop yourself. It's not good. You need practice at maintenance. So even if you're not to your goal, it is very advisable to take diet breaks, long ones, but at the very minimum, while you're doing a very extreme cut like this, you're going to want to do a 48-hour refeed. And I don't mean like eating all the carbs. I just mean eating higher calories, so 2,000 or more, 2,000 to 2,200 for 2 days out of the month. So you do 4 weeks of cut, 2 days of refeed. And it's good for here too, because if you know that refeed is coming, you can have all the fat, all the keto treats, and do it for 2 days, and then you can go into it again. If you do it that way, you're going to last a little longer because you're going to get less mentally unstable and your body's going to be less, fighting you. But remember, if you do this, you will be miserable. I try not to laugh because people do this and then they're like, I'm so tired, I'm so hungry. And I'm like, keto isn't magic. If you don't have a lot of body fat, even if you're fat adapted, your body's still going to get hungry. At the very beginning, it won't because it's just new. But if you've been doing keto for 3 years like me, like you get hungry. It's not the same as carb hunger. But you know what? I've added carbs back in my diet and I'm not getting as hungry as I thought I would. I really feel like it's the calorie deficit that makes you super, super hungry. So just be careful. You don't want to risk triggering binges, okay? Your refeed days are not binge days. They need to be planned out. They need to be tracked. You need to decide how many calories you're going to do, and you need to put it all in the tracker just like you would. You don't give yourself free reign. I did that on Halloween, and we saw what happened with that. I ate 2,500 calories, and then I was in horrible pain for 2 days. Don't be me. And that wasn't even a true binge. Like a true binge, like I could probably put down like 10,000 calories or something if I really went all hogs wild on the donuts and Coke and chocolate and all the things that I used to eat all the time. Okay. So I think that's it. Oh my heck, we have so many people here. What? Hello, everyone. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe and close the chat and put the thumbs up and everything. I've already given all the information. Now is the time of the video. I'm going to give you about 20 minutes for questions. And I'm literally going to go back up to the tippy top of the chat at the very beginning and start from there. So if you have something that's very important and you really want me to see, and you don't think I'm going to get to it, please feel free to give me a small super chat just to get my attention. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. I will try and get to everyone as much as I can. And just so you guys know, if you hear doors opening and stuff, my kids are going to be getting up soon because I started late. And Dave is also here today, so don't get weirded out by my squeaky doors because I have them. Alrighty, guys. Oh my heck. I can't believe there's so many people here. This is the most people I've had in like forever. Apparently everyone wants to lose weight fast. And if you're just coming in and you missed all the information, you're going to have to come back and watch it later. Okay, so where were we? Oh, I went too far. Okay, all's well from India is here. Hello, namaste. Nona, Grace. Mary Grace, good to see you. I didn't know you were here. I hope you're still here. My weight loss journey by Keto Granny. I don't think I've met you. Welcome. I would assume she has a channel. You guys just go check her out. My weight loss journey by Keto Granny. Anyone who has a channel, I will try and shout you out if I know that you have a channel. April Wooten is here. Welcome. Let's see. Okay. Everyone's raising their hand for being impatient. Yeah, I know, right? It is so hard. Oh, Christina Salmon, you were here. Good. Kathy Sherman, welcome. That is so awesome. Carnivore Yogi said her T3, which I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's is it your thyroid? Yeah, I think it's your thyroid hormone. Went down during a deficit from doing too much fasting. Yes, I do not recommend fasting. Oh, I should have probably put that in there. No fasting, guys, except for intermittent. But even intermittent, I'm feeling like I don't love it as much anymore. You naturally fall into intermittent fasting, I think, with keto just because you're not super hungry. And it does make it easier. But I don't know if that is beneficial in the long run. BioLane did a video recently about intermittent fasting, and they've proven that basically you don't lose more weight, but you do lose more lean mass. So I don't know if I would have done that. I can't even get out of this cycle. I'm eating 3 meals, but it's still in the stupid window. I cannot get out of that window. I keep trying. So I'm going to be doing a video about that soon. So I don't recommend any extended fasting. I definitely don't think Nomad is great because it's hard to get your protein in 1 meal. Plus, you're basically wasting all that protein because your body can only use a certain amount per time to like build muscle and stuff. So I'm not a Dr. Fung person. So I don't recommend fasting to lose weight. Calorie deficit, yes. High protein, yes. Keto, yes. Fasting, no. I don't recommend. Okay. Stacy Hall. Hey. Melissa Lewis. She says, I love the high fat. I know, right? Don't we? This is the hardest thing with the reverse diet, especially adding carbs in, because I don't get to add all of the yummy fats back in. I'm adding stupid carbs that taste like crap because you need fat to make them taste good. So yeah, it's been fun. It's really hard to keep my fats low. I have a hard time, and I'm trying to keep them lower so that I can get my protein and carbs a little higher, but then I'll have to do fats because there's only so far I'm going to go with protein and fat. And carbs. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading fast. Okay. Christina Salmon says that finding that sweet spot in calories is the key. Like just eking them down until you all of a sudden start dropping weight and then you're like, yes, this is it. And you stay there for a while until you stop. Now, I don't mean stop like as in like it's been 2 days and the scale didn't go down. I mean stop as in it's been several weeks and you haven't lost any in your inches or your pounds. Because pounds don't always count as much as inches, guys. Inches are the key. So me, like, if my pounds go down and I get excited, I go measure my inches and it didn't go down and I'm like, water. Right? Because water weight can be the same on the downward on the scale as it is on the upward. So don't be too hard on the scale. Like don't put all your stock in the scale. Take your scale number every single day, write it down in your notebook, and then average out your weight for the week and use that as your barometer as you're going down. So don't do like me and think that every Saturday that's the only weight that counts. I wish I would have done an average weight the whole time. These things I'm learning now, right? All right. John Boston said, did you say 1 gram per pound per meal with meat? No, it is per day. So John, if your like goal weight is 225, over the course of the days between 3 to 5 meals, you're going to want to get in 225 grams of protein. So not grams of meat, grams of protein. So make sure you're getting a tracker and you're putting in your ounces or whatever, or your grams of meat and seeing how much protein that gives you. It's not the same as the actual weight of the meat. Because I'm pretty sure like 8 ounces of beef has like 40 grams of protein, something like that. So you need to track it. You've got to track it. Track it. I know people don't like tracking because they say it triggers binges and it causes eating disorders and stuff. I just don't see how that's possible if you're really careful and you're giving your body what it needs and you're just seeing what you're giving it. I just don't see that tracking can be a thing, but maybe I'm obsessively tracking. I don't know. My kids say that I'm obsessive when I'm taking little bits out and putting bits in and trying to get the exact grams. So yeah. I'm sorry I didn't make that more clear, but yeah, it's per day and it's divided up between however many meals you choose. So if you're only doing 1 meal a day, it's hard. Me trying to hit 163 grams of protein in 1 meal would be like impossible. Plus there's this thing called muscle protein synthesis that gets triggered by a certain amount of protein and needs time to like recover. So the ideal is to get as many meals in as you can with 3 to 4 breaks between them with 30 or 40 grams of protein per meal. So I do 3 meals with my 150 or whatever divided up between the 3. I used to do 2 and I used to do 120, and so I did 60 per meal. So it's really like whatever you feel like you can do. I know BioLane does 5. So it's really... Getting that muscle protein synthesis is going to be better for you in the long run because it's going to help repair your muscle tissue and build more especially when you're in a deficit, than if you're doing the fasting, which you're going to likely burn more lean mass, which means you're burning fewer calories, especially if you're losing body fat too. If your body's getting smaller, you're burning fewer calories just existing, right? So focusing on getting that lean mass to stay is higher priority than ketosis. It's really important. Ketosis isn't only important in as that it helps you get that calorie deficit. It isn't necessarily important unless you're you're a diabetic or you have other health reasons that you're doing ketosis. Okay? So ketosis is just a tool to get a calorie deficit. And it's also more dangerous to your lean mass. You really need to get your protein up. Don't worry about testing ketones. Forget that. Don't worry about it. You don't need to do it. It's not important. If you're eating the higher protein keto, your ketones are going to be low anyways, and you're just going to get sad. It's not important. It's not necessary. If you're eating fewer than 20 net carbs, you're in ketosis. Even if you're eating fewer than 25 or 30, probably, especially if you're a guy, you're probably in ketosis. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. If you're not hungry, it's working. Don't worry about ketosis. It doesn't matter. I lost 205 pounds not worrying about ketosis. Seriously, didn't test from the beginning. I've tested here and there, and that's how I know that mine are so low or abysmally or zero. But it doesn't matter. That wasn't the point. The point was to lose weight. I was almost 400 pounds, and now I am I'm not telling you what I am, but it's awesome. Okay, yeah, secret stuff comes out at the end. If you're all here, there's so many people here, though. I don't know if I dare to say secret stuff right now. You guys, 100 of people. Wow. Okay. Christina Salmon said the same thing happened to her. She hit 199 and her body slammed the brakes. She added exercise and it helped, but then bumping up to 1,500 calories. Then she hit the 100 pounds mark and it slowed again. So she stopped the active cut and ate 1,800 for 4 weeks to try and give her body a break. So she did a diet break. Awesome. And now she's cutting now. It's easier. And that is true. Even if you take a short break during your journey, it's still going to benefit you because it's going to raise your metabolism back up. Every time your metabolism gets pushed back up, it gives you the chance to cut again. The key is just not to do it too many times. So you want to cut for a certain, a long enough period of time, 8 to 12 weeks, okay? If you're not eking them down. This is talking like bargain basement calories. If you're going to go to bargain basement calories, don't do it too long and then give yourself a nice long break. And you can do like me, where you add the calories in slowly, so you're still technically losing some weight. You're just not in an extreme deficit. But even when I'm doing this, I really try, at the beginning, I did refeeds, and people are like, if you're doing a reverse diet, why are you doing refeeds? And I'm like, because I'm still really low on calories, right? So even during that early part of the reverse, I did refeed days. I'm not doing that anymore because I'm up to 1,769 calories daily. Woot! Still losing weight. Yeah, guys, seriously. So I didn't really need that 1,300, probably. All right. Yes, Angela, she said, would you advise those that are just starting out to eat their ideal weight in protein? Yes. I wish I would have done that. I think I would have been better off if I'd done the 160 from the beginning and not the 120. I really feel if I'd added that last 8 ounces of beef or chicken or whatever it is, 6 ounces of chicken, I think it is for 40. I think I would have done better with my lean mass loss. I lost a lot of lean mass doing this, but I had a lot of lean mass because I was almost 400 pounds. I was carrying so much weight. I had muscles that I could let go. I still have muscles. So it's not like I'm emaciated. I'm fine. But I wish I would have known some of this stuff at the beginning. So, Polag says, what do you think is harder, losing weight or maintaining it? Maintaining it. Everyone says it's the hardest part of the journey, and it is true. If you go to Colin Deway's channel, Dewaay, and watch his reverse dieting videos, he talks about how you need to remember you have to have the diet after the diet. You can't just go back to eating what you were eating before. First of all, you're smaller, so you're burning fewer calories because you're a smaller person. You don't even know what your maintenance is, probably. You're going to overshoot it. And when you go start eating, you're going to get hungry. Have you ever watched Greg Doucette talk about, I think it's leptin and ghrelin, and I don't know which one it is. I think ghrelin is the one where it makes you hungry, and he's like, it's ghrelin going to come and get you. Oh my gosh, that guy is so funny. I love you, Greg. If you ever watch my channel, one of these days, it's my ideal thing for Greg to make fun of me on his channel. That would be so cool. I love him. Anyway, he talks about that and so does Colin Deway. When you go back into a reverse diet and you start to give yourself more calories, you'll get really, really hungry, and you need to know that's going to happen. So you have to be prepared for the diet after the diet. And I can do more videos on that because that's literally what I'm doing right now. But right now I'm going to do the reverse and just talk about that during my reverse video. So if you are wondering how I'm figuring out maintenance, go up there to the playlists. Click on the reverse diet playlist and just watch it, binge watch it, because I'm finding out all this stuff and I'm talking about it as I go. But yeah, I've come up from 1,300 calories to 1,769. It is 10 and a half weeks into my reverse diet. I gained weight really quickly at the very beginning and I started to have a little bit of a panic attack, but I kept on going because I trust Colin Deway and all these people that say it will work. And guess what, guys? I have now hit several new lows at 10 and a half weeks in. So obviously I did not actually gain body fat. I'm still losing weight at now 1769 calories. I did not do anything except raise my calories up. So it's working for me. The diet after the diet, Colin DeWay, go check him out. BioLane talks about it a bit too. There's lots of channels where smart people, smarter than me, talk about it. Yeah, okay. Wicked Woo says, since June 26th, I've lost just under 40 pounds. I've been in high ketosis, haven't lost an inch since the first few weeks. The only thing that's been saving me is 16.8. Okay, if you haven't lost any inches and you've lost 40 pounds, I would be concerned that you are losing your lean mass, your muscle. I don't know what else to say. High ketosis, like I said, it's not the key to weight loss. It's just a tool to get you in a calorie deficit. And if you're not eating enough protein, you're losing your lean mass, I would be concerned about that. So I don't know, maybe rethink that. You should be losing inches if you're losing body fat. That is just how it works. S says, this whole year has been an unintentional weight loss break for me. Yes, and I'm sure you are not the only one. 2020 has been hitting us in the guts. And you know what? If you've gained some weight and you've taken a diet break, exactly, call it a diet break, guys. It's okay. As long as you aren't constantly binging every day and indulging all of your anxieties and all of your stress in eating, try and keep control as best you can. You're just having a diet break. Tell yourself you're just having a diet break. And it's okay if you put on a few pounds. Because it is. It is. And you probably will. That's the thing Colin DeWay is so awesome about saying, is that you will gain weight when you're not in a cut, but you can't be in a cut all the time. That's not real life. Nobody lives in cut phase. They should not. It's not healthy. It's not a happy way to live. And if you do not love yourself right now, you are not going to love yourself anymore 20 or 40 pounds down the road. And other people don't really care. No one is watching you, unless, of course, you're YouTubing it like me and adding every little inch that you lose or gain. Nobody actually cares about how much weight you lose or gain. No one is going to notice, and nobody is going to care. Unless you're packing on 50 to 100 pounds real quick, nobody's going to even see it, right? He's like, you don't matter that much. He's like, the best thing that ever happened to me was the day I realized I was not all that. Nobody cares. He's like, if you gain 20 pounds in a diet break, oh darn, it's not a big deal. Give your body enough time for your metabolic damage to heal up, and then just go cut it again. It's easier if you do it that way. If you're not constantly cutting. If you're constantly cutting, you're literally pushing your calorie level down to what you have to get to lose weight, to like undoable proportions. If you cannot lose weight eating less than, like if you're eating less than 1,200 calories and you're still not losing weight like fast, your metabolism is screwed and you need to spend some time doing a reverse diet and getting it up there. I apparently did not damage my metabolism fully because I was obese. I hadn't dieted much, and when I got to that wall, I stopped and I took a break. And I've taken many breaks. And I really think that's why I had my metabolism tested thinking it was going to be bargain basement, and it was actually high. Hi. The girl who said, I can't lose weight because my metabolism isn't like hers. Well, that was a bullcrap lie. And that was hard to face. And you know what? I'm so glad I faced it, because that has opened a whole new window of understanding myself and helping me go to a whole new level of healing and a whole new level of happiness with myself, and not always being like, oh, I need 10 more pounds. I need 10 more pounds. If I got 10 more pounds, yay, but I am so happy right where I'm at. And I was so happy right where I was at when I had lost 50 pounds. And I was so happy right where I was at when I had lost 150 pounds. Like, I was happy the whole way through. I was just relieved to find something that actually worked for me, that I felt like I could understand and teach, and like I became relatively an expert in, because it was so awesome. I got a whole new me, right? I was in a very bad place emotionally. I needed a freaking break, and keto was the answer, and it still is. If I do another cut, it's going to be keto. It's just easier. It's just easier. There are other ways to do it, but keto's the way to go if you want to lose weight the fastest. So let's see, for newbies, when would you suggest a diet break? If you are really, really obese, you may not need to worry about diet breaks as much. If you are starting out under 200 pounds, I recommend them every 4 weeks, a 48-hour diet break, refeed, whatever you want to call it, of higher calories, not just one day. One day is not enough. You need 2. I wish I'd known these things. I probably would have had a better and happier life on the way down. So yeah, there you go. Okay. Dad's Driveway, welcome. Carly's mama is here. I think her name is Tanya or Tanya, and I always can't figure out which one. I think it's Tanya. Dad's Driveway, I don't know your name. He says, amazing channel. I'm on a cut right now. Keto is great. Good job. That's awesome. Boss Lady 1979 says, still feeling hungry, usually under 30 to 50 net carbs a day. Tried carnivore, but really missed my veggies. Any suggestions? The thing that gives you the hunger suppression is ketosis. If you're hitting 30 to 50 net, you're just not in ketosis. Probably. Like, that may not be the reason, but it's likely the reason. I highly recommend going down to 20 net and seeing what happens. Take about a week and a half before you decide, because it takes a little bit of time to like get ketosis going. And it takes about 4 weeks into ketosis till you really get into the Zen zone, where your body really gets used to burning your body fat, like back and forth between dietary and body fat. So give it more time that way. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, getting under 20 net. But it might just be you're in too much of a calorie deficit, and that's part of being in a calorie deficit. If you're not super obese and you're eating at a very bargain basement calorie level, you're going to be hungry even if you're in ketosis, guys. You're going to be tired. You're going to be miserable. Ketosis is not pure magic. If you don't eat enough calories, you're still going to be miserable, tired. That's why everybody's like taking the MCT oil and all that, trying to get energy, because that MCT oil kind of burns quicker and gives you a energy boost kind of thing. The thing is it also stops your body from burning body fat, because you're basically giving it more dietary fat. So that's where keto gets tricky, is if you eat too much dietary fat, you're not going to burn your body fat off, which is why you use the fats for the gauge of your calories. Also, it's why you get your proteins high, because you'll be less hungry, because if you're eating that much protein, it's hard to get that in. All right. And she's lost 60 pounds. Okay, well, it might just be time for a diet break then. That might be your body telling you, I need a break. So you might want to either do a reverse diet where you eat your calories back up like I did. So like you're still in a deficit, still losing weight, but you're giving your body mentally more calories, so you think you're getting more food. I don't know. Raise your proteins up. Take more fats if you need to. Just take a break. But yeah, that could just be you're hitting that wall. 60 pounds is a lot. Your body's probably going, yeah, need a break. Okay. Amber Carroll says, I only have 10 pounds left to lose, and I've been on keto for 2 years. I'm unable to get the last 10 to go away. I tried adding carbs, more calories, etc. Okay, so the key is to be on a diet break long enough that you reverse your metabolic damage. I would highly recommend seeing if you can get some sort of metabolic test in your area. So at my DEXA scan place, they do a KORR test, where you literally, they strap a mask on you and you breathe into a tube for about 10 minutes, and they determine how many calories you're burning based on the oxygen that you consume during the 10 minutes. So it's not exact, obviously, but it's going to give you a general idea of how much your body is burning at rest. If your body's only burning like, bargain basement calories at rest, then you're just going to have to let that 10 pounds go for a long time and do a reverse diet and get your metabolic damage reversed. You can even go back in and get tested again to make sure it's going up. But if your problem is that you can't get calories low enough without feeling like death, that's probably your issue. The second one is you're probably eating too many calories, because keto is high fat. A lot of people think that they have to keep that golden ratio, and so then they bargain basement their proteins and eat only fats, and their body's burning those fats as fuel. Don't give it fuel. It's harder for your body to use protein that it digests as fuel as it is for fats and carbs. So you got to take away the fuel and give it the protein to build your muscle. So the protein fills you up, and it also basically burns more calories in your digestive tract, and you're giving your body fewer calories to burn with the dietary fats and carbs. That's one thing I didn't talk about fats, is how low you could go. I don't recommend below 50 grams of fat because it's really hard. Technically, there is this, like, I should have looked this up before I got on here. I know for a person my height and weight, 5'7" and under 180, I can go down to 35 grams of fat per day and still have hormonal health, at least according to online trackers. I don't recommend going below 50 because that sucks so bad. But when you're to that point, that's literally your only option. You need to figure out your protein level to keep your proteins high so that you're nice and full and so that your body's burning it. It's called anabolic foods, right? Then bargain basement your fats. And I know you don't want to hear that as a keto person. Keep your carbs low and bargain basement your fats to the point it's called a PSMF, protein sparing modified fast. You can't do it for very long. You have to have refeeds. The people that are the proponents behind that recommend carb refeeds, but if that is a trigger for you, I don't recommend it. Fat refeeds should be sufficient, but I don't recommend doing that for very long. We're talking like a very short time. The way I'm talking about doing it down to 50, you can do that for a lot longer. So if you're going to be doing like 1,200, 1,300 calories, you're probably safe to go 8 to 12 weeks. But if you're going to be like under 1,000 calories to get that last 10 pounds, that's a short thing. And then you're going to want to jump up to the 1,200 and then reverse your way out to not lose it. Okay, but here's the thing. I hate doing this to you. I know you don't want to hear it. I kind of hope you're not here anymore. You probably won't ever lose that last 10 pounds, and it's okay. You don't need to. It's not a necessity to life. You cannot be your ideal weight all the time, every day, forever. That isn't how it works. You need to be happy with yourself where you are. If you can't be happy with yourself 10 pounds away from goal, then maybe your goal needs to be dropped and you need to focus on healthy mindset. Focus on loving yourself and just let that stupid 10 pounds go. It doesn't matter. Girl, I have like a huge ball of blubber on the front of me, but I still love me. And you know what? If I never lose that huge ball of blubber, oh well. You know? Probably the only way to get rid of that is surgery at this point anyways, because I don't really want to lose any more weight anywhere else in my body. And it seems like that's the only place I want to lose, that my body wants to lose, is in my arms and shoulders and face. And I like my arms and shoulders and face, and I don't want to lose any more weight up there in order to lose the belly fat. So I'm just kind of letting it go. I'll probably do another cut sometime when I get uncomfortable again. But right now I'm not uncomfortable. So if you've been dieting a while, I highly recommend doing a reverse diet and getting up to a real level of maintenance calories and even pushing them a little higher so that you can get used to eating more food, stop being in a calorie deficit, and let your metabolism heal up. Then 6 months, 9 months, a year down the road, try again. You may have gained 10 more pounds and you'll start to feel uncomfortable. And then maybe you'll do an 8-week cut or a 12-week cut and you'll lose 20 pounds and you'll get there. It's all here, guys. Why do you really need to lose that last 10 pounds? What's it going to give you? What's the reason behind it? If your motivation is health, you're a fitness person, you want to look good for a photo shoot, like those things are like reasonable reasons to get cut. If you're just a regular person, there's really no reason. Nobody else cares. If you want to walk around in a bikini all the time and you want to look tight, well, then maybe your focus needs to be more on fitness competitions or something. I don't know. Like, most normal people don't do that. Most regular people are just happy. And you know what? If you can't be happy on what you're eating just because you're trying to get that last 10 pounds, what kind of life is that? I know sometimes at the end of these videos, I get real mean. I don't mean to, and I say things that maybe people don't want to hear because I feel like we're safer, but there's 107 people on this chat right now. What is happening? A lot of you guys want to lose weight fast. Can you? Yes. Should you? Maybe not. So if you missed the beginning, got to go back. So go on back and watch the beginning when we're done here, and you can find out how I said how to do it. But like recap for those who are new, I see a lot of people popping in here. Basically, ketosis, under 20 net carbs, protein, your 1 gram for ideal body weight, and fats adjust your calories. don't go below 50 grams of fat if you can help it. So don't be afraid of low calories, because if you can do it for a short time, you can do it. But don't think you're going to go a whole year eating less than 1,200 calories, guys, unless you're over 300 pounds. Don't do that. Yeah. I know, right? Fat Taquito says she's tracked for 3 years. It didn't do anything to her. I'm like, I know. I mean, like, people think it's so weird I track because it's not the normal thing, but it doesn't like make me more obsessive over my weight. I like the data. I like seeing, okay, I ate this. This is what happened. I can adjust this because I ate this. I tracked it and this is what happened. And so I can change that if it doesn't work, right? If I didn't track it, how the heck would I know if it worked or not? Oh, I have no clue. There's no way to know unless you're willing to track the data. All right. Silva Star, hey, it's good to see you here. I haven't seen you in a while. Ground beef, or mince as we call it in the UK, is what I use to when I need to boost my protein. It's so high in protein, I have to hold it back. Yeah, the Protein Energy Diet by Dr. Ted Naiman highly recommends 85-15 ground beef as the supreme meat source. For me, I just find I can't get enough protein from it without getting my fats too high, because right now I'm adding carbs in. But yes, ground beef is a great way. Ground turkey. I mean, there's just so many things you can do to get your protein up. Protein muffins, where you basically mix egg whites and protein powder together with some sweetener and you put it in the microwave. I have not tried that, but I hear it is like good, and it's on my bucket list of things I'm going to try. The protein sludge I've been eating is so freaking good, guys. I've been making it basically with 250 or 275 grams of 0% fat Greek yogurt and about 20 to 25 grams of Quest protein powder. I mix that up and then I add whatever flavor I want. So I've been into the pumpkin. So I added 3 ounces of canned pumpkin with some pumpkin pie spice. Oh my gosh, so good. I've added in some cocoa powder and sweetener. Oh my heck, like it's the best. It's very, very high in protein and very, very low in fat, in calories. So it's huge in my diet because it helps me bump my proteins up. So yeah, there's lots of ways to get it up. Okay, let's see. Okay, Carly's mama says 15 years post gastric bypass. I still can't eat large amounts at a time. So I can't do OMAD physically. I do better when I quit eating 3 hours before sleep time. Yeah, you have to do whatever works. Eating earlier in the day works a lot better for a lot of people. I can't do that because of my schedule, but yes, it's better for circadian rhythm. If you've had bariatric surgery, you're going to want to get protein in as much as you can per meal and try and space your meals out 3 hours, but eat multiple meals. You're going to need to use protein powders to get that protein in. There's no way. Like, you have to get it in. It's better to get it in from meats, but if you can eat food. But if you got to get it in, you got to get it in with something. And protein powders work really great. S says, if maintenance is harder than weight loss, I'm in trouble. I'm struggling just to lose. Well, I need more information than that to help you out. It depends on how long you've been trying to be in a deficit. Depends on all these things we've been talking about. Like if you've already dieted down to your bargain basement and maybe you just need to take some time off and stop trying to lose weight for a while and just eat. Eating is good. Eating is important. Binge eating is not good. Eating in a huge surplus is how people get fat. If you can just eat regularly, maintain or just gain a little bit, then give your body time to like readjust, give your mental state a break, then do a quick cut and do it the way I've been talking about here, you're going to be a lot better off. But you need a lot of time off of losing. If you are really stuck and you cannot lower your calories anymore because you just can't do it, then you are in a bad place metabolically and you need to fix that. Focus on reverse dieting. Focus on getting your calories higher. If you go slowly and add calories in slowly, you're not going to gain a super amount of weight. You probably will gain weight as you do that. But you will heal your metabolism, making it easier in the future to cut that weight again. Sometimes you just get to a place where you just cannot go any further. If you're not at bargain basing calories, you're going to have to lower your calories. Best way to do that is raise your proteins, lower your fats. If your carbs are already low. Lower your carbs, get into ketosis if you haven't done that first. That should be number 1. It's the easiest way to get that appetite suppressant. Okay. That's right. Mark Gringus, he says, Ghrelin will come and punch you in the face. Good old Greg Doucette. Oh my gosh, that guy cracks me up. I love him so much. I could hear him scream every single day. I'm 13 and I want to lose weight. Can you help me? Yes and no. If you are 13 years old, you have not hit your growth spurt yet. I have 9 children. My children are not allowed to lose weight, okay? So some of you will notice that some of my kids are a little on the chubbier side. That's okay. You can be on the chubbier side. If you're talking like you are huge and you are in danger, then you can go on some kind of a weight loss. You can try keto. It's not going to kill you to do keto. You know, like it, I can't give you a lot of advice other than focus on protein. So that's what I tell my kids. Fill up on protein. Do not eat any carbs or fats unless you first ate protein. So get yourself some yogurt, get yourself chicken, you know, like my kids like to do cheese sticks, pepperoni out of the fridge. Like I don't worry about the fats level with kids. I worry about protein. So I try and get my kids to eat lots of yogurt, lots of cheese, lots of like we have lunch meats, boiled eggs. We do lots of boiled eggs, of course, because I have 36 chickens. So boiled eggs are huge. You know, like I just keep a bag of them with the zipper open and a paper towel in there so that they don't get gross and they're with their shells on, and I just keep them in the fridge so you can grab them and eat them. So you can tell yourself, I have to eat 2 boiled eggs and a cheese stick before I can have chips. Okay? Or two boiled eggs and a cheese stick before I can have any cookie or any sugar or whatever else. Okay? Focus on your proteins. Get full on proteins. If you're feeling like you're overweight because you're eating because you're stressed out, you need to address up here. You need to find other things that make you happy. What makes you happy? Reading, taking a bath, going for a walk, talking to a friend. You need a list of the things that make you happy. And when you feel stressed out and you feel like you need to eat because you're sad or depressed, force yourself to do 3 of those things that make you happy first before you eat. If you've done those 3 things, and you still have to have some food, grab protein snacks first. Fill up on protein. If you have filled up on protein and you still just have to have some chips, then go ahead and eat chips because you're going to eat less chips if you filled up on protein, and you're going to eat less emotionally if you've tried to take care of yourself first. But if you're 13 and overweight, don't stress because your growth spurt is coming. All of my kids have had a huge growth spurt the summer between 14 and 15 years old. Until you're at least 15 or 16, don't stress out about your weight. When you hit 16 and you're getting closer to your height, then you can worry about it a little bit more, and you're older and your body is more developed and you can stress about it a little bit more. But at 13, honey, don't stress over it, okay? Don't stress over it. Just try and eat lots of yummy protein as much as you can and work on the things that are making you feel like you need to overeat. Good luck to you. All right, I really need to be done. Speaking of kids, my kids are like, I think they're awake, but I can't believe they didn't wake up till now. That's the problem. If I do this forever, what time is it? It's 10 a.m. We're supposed to be starting school, and I bet you they're not even out of bed. Oh my gosh. Kindred Echo says, they may be smarter than you, but you make all this information accessible to those of us who watch, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. I love sharing what I'm learning, and I'm not afraid to say I'm learning something new, right? Like, I am not ashamed to say maybe I was wrong or maybe I didn't know everything. That's why I'm like willing to eat carbs at this point, and it has been exactly what I needed to do. So crazy, right? Jessica Keenan says, my diet doctor is wanting me to do 1 meal a day with no sweeteners, even keto approved sweeteners, no whey protein, but I can't get my protein without my shake. Has anyone heard this? Okay, when you're saying your diet doctor, are you talking about a doctor you're seeing in person, Jessica, or the diet doctor website? If it's the website, screw that. If it's an actual doctor, well, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're paying him, but I wouldn't do it. If I were you, there's no way I'd do OMAD. No. No sweeteners? Great. Yes, for sure. No whey protein. That makes it harder. But you can get your protein in if you do 2 meals, for sure. That's not hard. You can do that. I mean, 2 freaking chicken breasts and you're done. Boom. Add some cheese. You can do it, but 1 meal, yeah, that's like super hard. I don't think I could do it. So, I mean, to me, the protein's more important than the fewer meals because honestly, like I said, go watch that BioLane video about intermittent fasting, and you'll go, I do not give Dr. Fung any credit. I mean, BioLane, he is like gone to school for that exact subject and knows everything about how the body works metabolically. And he says Dr. Fung is Dr. Dung. I trust BioLane. I don't trust Dr. Fung. So maybe your doctor is trying to do a Fung thing with you, and maybe he should watch BioLane. Lane Norton, yes, he is so good. All right. Hey, Sabrina, Flowers for Wonder Girl. I don't know if you're still here, but hi. Nicole and the Queen of One is here. Awesome. Mila Can Do It is here. Guys, go watch Mila's channel. She's been doing her diet practically as long as me, and she only does calorie counting, and she's lost so much weight. Guys, go watch. But she says, you're so right. Oh, see? Oh, okay. She has been dieting as long as me with the calorie restriction. She says, I want to say you're so right about doing a diet break. Right now, I ended up with reactive hypoglycemia, high insulin level, and low thyroid hormone and chronic insomnia for doing the deficit too long. See? Oh, yeah. Every 4 weeks, if you're skinny, take a diet break. Every 4 weeks, at least. So she said, it's very important to take a break. This fear of gaining weight again, is so real. Yes, it's the hardest part when you get to the end and you're like, oh no, people are watching me. I can't gain any weight. Well, it's not true, but unless you're on YouTube, but I wish she is. Mila can do it. You should go check her out. Her endocrinologist put her on a low-carb diet. She reduced her carbs from 45% to 15 to 20%, no fruits and pancakes. Oh, you're like in my world now, girl. And I'm moving on up with the carbohydrates. Oh, man, that's crazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, MCT oil can definitely give you diarrhea. Fat Taquito says, my stomach hates that. Yeah, sometimes it'll go right through you. Hey, Two Crazy Ketos is here. They have an awesome channel, too. Go check them out. Nicole says she loves following my new journey. She's been on the extreme struggle bus for the last 7 months. A lot of people have, girl. Give yourself grace. Don't stress. It is a rough year. If any of us survive, I can't even believe I've lost weight in 2020. That's a miracle. And I think it's because my reaction to 2020 was to try and get more control. Right? So let's see. Joetta Phillips, hello. Let's see. Sherry Rottweilers Forever says, every time I skip weighing myself daily, I go up in weight. Yeah, it's really good to have that data to just keep you in check. Even though some people say it makes them hyper-focused. So just be careful. Just be careful. Aka Hako says, such an encourager. Thank you. Oh, I hope I said your name right. Some of these are hard. Nicole says, I saw you eating the Project 7 gummies, so I ordered some. Never heard of them. Hope they're good since sweets are no-go. They are good, but I will warn you, they are 6 net carbs. They do have sugar in them. I didn't eat them before I decided to add carbs back in, and I did them basically for Halloween, but they were too good. Let's just put it that way. I can't eat only 1 pack. I have to eat 2, and that's 12 net carbs. So... and lots of total carbs. And I ate 4 on Halloween and literally almost died because it was in so much pain. So be careful with them. I think the main thing is allulose in those. And I think maybe my stomach just really hates allulose in large doses. But if you are looking for some gummies that aren't, because the Smart Sweets have gotten so far up in carbs, they're a really good option. They're really tasty. They taste like sun-kissed fruit gems. And the reason I haven't talked about them so much is because I feel like they'd be a trigger food for a lot of people. So be careful, Nicole, especially if you're having a hard time. Okay. Let's see. Gypsy Vlinder says, I'm eating low-carb, high-fat, and keto. I love my food. You say take more protein. I did it, and I'm the same weight now. In the past, I lost 10 kilos, but now she's in a plateau, but she feels good. She no longer has stress here in lockdown, and she has a heart condition. If you have a heart condition, you need to really focus on that protein. And if you're feeling good and you're eating food, just eat. Don't stress. You don't need to keep losing weight. Take a break. Take a break. The longer you take a break, the easier it will be to lose weight the next time you do a cut. The more you yo-yo going back and forth, because like if you decide to take a break and you put on some weight and then you panic and you go right back, maintenance, as much patience, if not more, and more bravery, because you will put on some weight in order to be able to stay metabolically healthy. So yeah. Am I suggesting low fat? Yes, I am. Not like 0, but yeah, lower. That's calories, fat. Yes, I've always suggested that from the very beginning. Yes, sustainability and consistency is key. Progress over perfection. Thanks, Julie Ironman. That is so true. I talk about that all the time. Patience, patience, patience. Don't be impatient, guys. You don't have to lose weight fast. You just have to make progress. And it doesn't have to be perfect all the time. Don't beat yourself up. Okay? No guilt. If you choose to have an off-plan meal, it's okay. Just go back on plan. The entire time I was on keto, I never had an off-plan meal. This planning carbs in is my way of being off plan and yet still losing weight. So I was afraid of carbs for no reason. Probably because I just didn't trust that I could eat them and not eat too many. Yes. Oh, thanks, Silva. She or he, actually don't know. I always thought you were a he. Says, I love this stream. You're bursting with energy and I love to see it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Looks like we got everything. Everybody's talking about OMAD. Some people are saying it's tough. Some people are saying it's easy. It was not easy for me, and I don't recommend it because it's hard to hit that protein, and protein is key. Like, go watch videos on muscle protein synthesis if you want to know why protein is important, and you can only use a certain amount of protein every time you stimulate muscle protein synthesis. And so basically, if you're eating all of that 150 grams of protein in like one meal, you're basically wasting a lot of it. Whereas if you broke it up into 3 meals or even 5 meals and had 30 grams per meal, then you're going to build more lean mass. Intermittent fasting is not that awesome. I really need to do a video on that. It's coming. It's just, I haven't been brave enough. What I really want to do is show my loose skin after another year of intermittent fasting and then talk about why I'm not going to do it anymore. But I just haven't done it. So it's on my bucket list of things to do. I'm going to do it. But yeah, anyway, guys, we went way over, but I'm so glad. I feel like this chat was really important. We had a lot of people here. Obviously, this is a topic of high consideration that people really, really want to lose weight fast. And I hope that I gave you ideas to do that. And I also hope I gave you reasons to reconsider it. And I hope that if you are super obese, that you will have success, because it's literally the worst thing. And it was it literally saved my life. It literally saved my life. So I love y'all, and I appreciate all of the support and for being here for so long, and I love you, but I gotta go. I need to get homeschool done with my kids. So we'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.